Hi everyone, this is Dale C. Washington of Greater Works, Prophetic Ministry, and Raw, and I prophesy through dreams and visions. It is Friday, January the 15th of 2021. The title is Air Jordan. I'm not comfortable speaking the last part of the title. I really don't care for the last part of the title. However, I do believe that that is what God is speaking at this time for me to use as a title. So I'm just going to say that the title is Air Jordan. I'm going to share a dream with you all. Now, I woke up from this dream shortly before 7 a.m. on yesterday morning, which was Thursday, January the 14th of 2021. All right, so I'm going to get into the dream in a minute. I did not know that this dream was going to lead to all of the information that I'm about to share with you all. Now, some of the information I'm about to talk about, I have said some of this in previous messages from the Lord, okay? But I didn't know that this dream was going to lead me there again. I also did not know that this dream was going to lead to this title. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the dream. So in the dream, I was looking through the kitchen window and I saw a helicopter spiraling or spinning, and it was turning in the sky. The helicopter was kind of low. I immediately began screaming and yelling the words, "Come here, come here." So I was calling my daughter to come quickly to see the helicopter in the sky. The helicopter appeared to be spinning and turning out of control. But now, since I have written this dream and sought the Lord about the interpretation, now I get the feeling that the helicopter might not have been out of control. Okay, so I'm going to explain that in a few minutes. So immediately after screaming for my daughter to come and see the helicopter, as she's coming to where I was standing, I began yelling, "Pray, pray, pray." Okay, and we both began to pray as we were looking up into the sky. The airplane would have been positioned in front of us. Next, I see the helicopter coming toward us from the right. Now, this was after I was screaming, "Pray, pray, pray," and then me and my daughter began to pray. So at that point, the helicopter was directly in front of us. Now, next, I see the helicopter coming toward us from the right. All right, from the right. The helicopter is now in a nose dive. Okay, it's in a nosedive. Let me see if I can find a picture. And it's aiming straight for my house on purpose. Okay, so that's not the picture of the nosedive. I'm just showing you that helicopter like over a house. So, yeah. I began to look for photos to use as visuals of a helicopter doing a nosedive, and it was very hard to find the right photo. This photo however, is the first photo that I found that clearly shows, I should say, a helicopter doing a nosedive. I did not want to use this, and I kept rejecting this photo. I kept looking for another one because that photo is a picture of, I think that helicopter is called Red Bull. So I was trying to reject that, and I kept looking for other pictures. And I found a few other pictures of a helicopter doing a nosedive. But once the Lord started unfolding the things that were encoded in my dream, I came back to the helicopter called Red Bull. Okay, and I included it in the photos. Okay, so the helicopter was coming from the right side of us, which was outside. It's now coming from the right, it was doing a nosedive aiming straight for my house on purpose. Somehow the plane did not make it. It did not crash into my house. Okay. So there are some things about this dream that, as I get into it, there are some things that is reminding me of 9/11. Okay. Okay. So the helicopter somehow it did not crash into my house. So I'm going to show you a few more pictures. Here's another picture of a helicopter doing a nosedive. Okay, so next I saw the airplane slash helicopter coming from the left side of the house as if it had somehow turned around. So now it was, I don't know how this is facing to y'all, but to me, it is now moving from the left to the right. And that's exactly how the plane was doing in my dream. Once it came from the right side and it tried to do a nosedive into the house, it didn't make it, and now it's going back the opposite direction, similar to just how you see this photo, and it was going down from left to right. Okay. Okay. So I'm also want to note to you all that I'm using the word airplane and helicopter and also plane interchangeably, okay? But it definitely appeared to be a helicopter in my dream. But I can't really explain it, but as I write, certain words come to me to use interchangeably, and so that's what I'm doing, okay? All right, so now the airplane is coming from the left. As I said, it's coming from the left of the house as if it had somehow turned around. The helicopter appears to be very low, as if on the ground, and the helicopter is flying or moving from left to right as it was beginning to take off. All right, so it was beginning to take off. I had a hard time finding the right pictures showing the inside with no door, this is how it appeared in my dream. I could see the pilot sitting in the helicopter. It was as if there was no door there. So I'm going to show you all another picture. Okay. So it was like this, but I could see further down to the seating. Okay, so as the airplane slash helicopter was leaving, it was close to where my daughter and I were standing, which would have been in the doorway of the back door of the kitchen. Okay, listen to this word, back door. That's where we were standing. So several years ago, around 2011 or 2012, the Lord spoke to me and said this. He said, the devil is coming through the back door. There are 3 back doors that the Lord showed me at that time when he spoke that to me. The first back door is the back door of the country, meaning the southern part or the southern states of the U.S. The second back door that the Lord showed me is the back door of the computer. Now, these are things that I research and I can't get into details, but the back door, the computers have something called a back door. Okay, now the third back door that the Lord showed me, I'll have to come back and try to share that at another time about the third back door. But yeah, several years ago, that's what the Lord said. He said that the devil is coming through the back door, or the devil is going to come through the back door. Okay. Basically, the doors to this country are wide open. Okay. This country has no doors. And I shared this in a warning video, back in 2016, which was the first, prophetic, warning that the Lord gave me about a cataclysmic event for Florida. Back in 2016, and at that time, God showed me that this country, the U.S., has no doors. Or in other words, the doors to this country are wide open. I don't care what kind of a wall Donald Trump called himself building, which he did not complete that wall. That's partial. Whatever he put up, it's not completed. And I don't care how many walls you build, this country has no doors. It has no doors. Okay? So back to the dream. So now the plane or the helicopter is coming from the left to the right as it is leaving. As the plane is leaving, the pilot looked directly at me. Okay, let me show you a picture. Like this. He looked directly in my face. And I had a hard time trying to find an expression on a pilot. But this is the closest thing that I could find to how the pilot looked at me. It is almost exact. It's almost exactly the way he looked at me. I don't think he had on sunglasses though, but that is almost that is the perfect expression of how the pilot looked at me when he was getting ready to leave. All right, so the side of the helicopter where a door might be was wide open. Okay, I did not see a door. I said that a few minutes ago, and I could see the pilot as he was sitting in his seat. So as the pilot was leaving, he made it a point to look me in my face. It was almost as if the helicopter stood still, or it felt as if time slowed down as the pilot was looking at me. The pilot's appearance was that of kind of a handsome, normal looking guy. All right. For a few moments, I wondered why he was doing what he was doing in reference to his line of work. I'm like, why is he doing this? Okay, so the pilot was mostly a regular looking guy. He didn't look very old or very young. I'm not sure about his nationality. He did not appear to be black or white. If I had to guess, I would probably say that he was Middle Eastern. All right. So earlier I stated that the helicopter appeared to be spiraling or spinning out of control. Then I said, now I get the feeling that the helicopter may not have been out of control. And I told y'all I was going to explain that. So the reason that I said that is because I believe that the pilot had good control over the airplane or the helicopter. I believe this guy had complete control. As he looked at me, his face did not look mean or angry. He looked calm and professional, just like you see this guy in this photo right here. Okay, so I also had this photo, but this is now how he looked. This is just how I was able to see his entire body as he was sitting in the helicopter taking off. I don't remember seeing the back seat, but this is like the amount of his physical body that I could see. But that's not the expression. This is the expression right here. Okay. So also I could see that the pilot had on some kind of a vest. Let me go back. The pilot had on some kind of a vest, and it was a yellowish greenish vest. All right. So I have some more pictures to show you all in a minute. So in the dream, I felt a little shocked, and I was blown away that the pilot made a point of looking me in my face as he was leaving. Okay, and that's this picture. Now let me go back, and I'm going to show y'all, see if I can find. So see this door right here? I wasn't sure if I was looking at like, oh, maybe the door was made like this, but I don't think it was made exactly like that. It was just that I was able to see all the way in the helicopter as the pilot was leaving, just as if that helicopter had no door. Okay. So it may not have been like that, but I used that one in that picture anyway. Okay. So to the yellow vest. Okay. So, now, the yellow vest, I began to look for pictures of people that worked at the airport, that ground workers, people that directed the airplanes, and I began to find pictures with the type vest that I saw the pilot wearing in my dream as he was pulling off in the helicopter. Okay. All right. So I woke up from this dream in disbelief, still feeling blown away at what I had just seen. I also felt very surprised and intrigued about the ending of the dream. Now, I can't explain. I don't know why I was having feelings of feeling intrigued by this dream, but I seriously was. And I felt very surprised. So I didn't feel afraid at all when I woke up from the dream. I felt very calm and I felt very peaceful about this dream, and I still do. Okay, so now that is the whole dream. I'm going to tell you all what happened on the day before the dream. Okay, the very day before the dream. Which would have been Wednesday, I believe the 13th. So my experience on the day before I had this dream as I left my house is what I'm going to tell you about. Wednesday the 13th. So as I was leaving the house, I heard an airplane or a chopper, and I don't remember which one it was. It was either airplane or a chopper. And this is something that I almost always hear: low-flying airplanes or helicopters whenever I leave my home, almost always. But this particular day, as I was leaving, I said something to myself that I've never thought of and I've never said to myself before. I said to myself, if an airplane crashes into my house, at least I won't be home. On the following morning is when God sent me this dream. Okay, the following morning after I said that. So also, I found out on yesterday, on yesterday's news, I found out that there had been a small plane that had crashed in a home not very far from me. Okay, this plane crash happened Wednesday morning, okay? And that's the very same day that I left my house and said to myself, if a plane should crash into my house, at least I won't be home. That plane crash happened in the morning, and I left my house that evening not knowing that there had been a plane crash into a house not very far from me. All right, I cannot make this up. Okay, so there has been an increased amount of plane crashes and small planes crashing into homes and neighborhoods since around 2018. Okay, it began to aviation accidents, from what I've been seeing play out on the news, began to increase drastically. All right. And so what we need to do as saints, let's pray and cover our cities and our neighborhoods against the aviation chaos that the enemy is creating in the air. Okay. Now, part of this dream is reminding me of the attacks of 9/11. So let me see if I can find some more pictures. Okay, so that's another photo of a guy wearing a yellow vest, and again, that's what the pilot was wearing in my dream, a yellow vest. Okay, so I'm going to explain some of that. All right, so anyway, part of this dream is reminding me of the attacks of 9/11. I'm reminded of what happened concerning, I believe it was the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., during 9/11. That's what part of this dream led me to and is reminding me of. So here's an article I found that says low and loud, government to study helicopter noise around nation's capital. Okay, and they're saying that complaints from residents in Virginia, Maryland, and DC about helicopter noise surrounding or around the nation's capital. Okay, but whatever the terrorists tried to do during 9/11, I think it was an attempt on the Pentagon. That's what part of my dream is reminding me of. Okay, so I'm going to show you all what else I discovered, encoded into my dream as I was gathering my pictures together for this message. Okay, so I think it was something back here I said that I was going to explain. Okay, so there is a connection with everything yellow in my dream. So it started with the pilot wearing a yellow vest. As I was researching and looking for photos, I was drawn to this yellow airplane right here, and I didn't know why. Okay, now when I say yellow, and there's connections with, I'm going to show you all the connections with what connects with the word yellow or the color yellow in my dream. Remember when I said when I first in my dream, when I first saw the helicopter spiraling and turning in the sky, I started yelling and screaming for my daughter to come. I kept saying, "Come here, come here." So I was yelling. So in the word yell, that's the first part of yellow. Okay, so the pilot's yellow vest, and also let me discuss something about the pilot's yellow vest. I almost forgot. The pilot's yellow vest, let me go back to this picture right here. Okay, another interpretation I pulled from vest is the word best. Okay, B-E-S-T. The pilot was the best at what he does. I knew, although although the helicopter, a plane appeared to be out of control in the beginning, as God took me through the interpretation of the dream, I knew that the pilot had full control. In order for him to do what I saw him doing, and it's almost like, I forgot the name for it, but there are people who do air shows with helicopters, and they know how to spin the helicopter and do tricks with the helicopter, and that's what Red Bull, this helicopter right here, was doing. I think this was supposed to have been an air show. Okay, so there are people or pilots who know how to do all sorts of tricks with airplanes and helicopters. So this guy was in full control, and I knew that he was a professional. The way he did a nosedive, as if he was going to dive into the house, and somehow he missed, by the glory of God, because in the dream we were praying, he missed, but the way he turned around so quickly and he was leaving, and the look he gave me, he was very calm and professional. So in other words, he was the best at what he does. And the enemy, the other part of the word best, is the enemy is plotting to take out the best. Okay, and I'll get into that. He's plotting to take out the best. Okay, so we have the yellow vest, and I was drawn to the yellow airplane. Let me go there. Okay, I was drawn to the yellow airplane, and I didn't know why. And the yellow vest and the yellow airplane led me to, believe it or not, it led me to the Wizards. That has something to do with a company that, it started with me being led to a company that trains pilots, okay? But anyway, as I said, I was led to the Wizards. And the Wizards is also a team that Michael Jordan plays on. So there's another yellow airplane that I found that caught my attention. I was drawn to that plane as well. Okay, so the yellow vest led me to, I'll show you what the yellow vest led me to next. There's the yellow vest, and there's Kobe. The yellow vest led me to Kobe Bryant's yellow jersey. Look at his arm extended like a wing of a plane. Yellow vest, Kobe. Okay. When I realized, let me show you another picture. Look at his arm extended like the wing of an airplane. So when I realized where all of this was leading me to, I remembered how the media previously drew attention to Michael Jordan's yellow eyes. Why are Michael Jordan's eyes yellow in The Last Dance? All right. So this was an article written by Ko Ew. That was done in December of 2020, I believe. Okay. Anyway, that's where so I said all yellow things, this is how the Lord led me through the interpretation of the dream. All yellow things connected. All right. So everything led me to Michael Jordan's yellow eyes. As I was working on this part of the message, every commercial that was being played on the TV in my house and every video that was being watched, every video that my daughter was watching had someone in it wearing yellow, and they were all playing basketball in their driveway. And it was unreal. It's like there was no way that could just happen at the point and at the time that I was researching, and God was giving me this information and leading me from the vest to the yellow airplane, and leading me to Kobe's yellow jersey. And my daughter is watching TV, and I'm telling her what God is leading me to. And she's like, oh, here's a commercial. A commercial popped up about a car company, and it had the word wizard in it, which I said Michael Jordan used to play for a basketball team called the Wizards. And that commercial that popped up had all yellow letters. Then videos start popping up of people playing basketball, and they were all wearing yellow, but they were shooting hoops in their driveway. The other strange thing that was happening in the videos where the people were shooting hoops in their driveway, there were two separate videos that had nothing to do with one another. In both videos, it showed lights breaking. Okay, lights breaking. And I don't have time to get into what the significance of lights breaking mean. So the enemy has created the perfect storm. Okay, and he's created the perfect distraction while all hell is breaking loose with all the chaos over the fake election. Okay, and I want to say something about this fake election that everybody is complaining about and making comments about. If the election is fraudulent or stolen, it wouldn't be the first time. So stop the squealing. Everybody's saying, oh, it was stolen, oh, it's fraudulent, but it wouldn't be the first time. So why don't y'all just stop it? Okay? So with all the riots and the threats of more violence leading up to the inauguration, and with all the wars and the enemy, all the wars that the enemy has brewing, the enemy is plotting and planning to take down another king. Oh yes, he is. With all the distraction, the enemy has created the perfect distraction, the perfect storm, because he's plotting and scheming to take down another king. He's planning to destroy more lives. It's all in the message that I keep telling y'all about that I believe is being suppressed, called Moonlight Sonata 2. Okay? Moonlight Sonata 2. The enemy is trying to pull a part 2. He's trying to pull a part 2. Moonlight Sonata 2. Here's Kobe Bryant sitting at the piano playing Moonlight Sonata. The devil is standing by the banks of Jordan. Okay? The devil is standing by the banks of Jordan. Now, how is it that a few days ago, listen to this, a few days ago, on the morning of the 11th, my daughter had a dream about Mike Pence getting shot. And we've already uploaded that message. We already uploaded that video. Okay? A dream about Mike Pence getting shot. And 3 days after that, I receive a dream from the Lord about a pilot that's about to fly a helicopter into my house, but he misses. All right? But he misses. Let me find another plane. Okay, and that's the part that reminded me of the 9/11 attacks in Washington. Okay, something about that reminded me about that. Okay, so after my daughter had a dream about Mike Pence getting shot, 3 days later, I have a dream about the helicopter trying to fly into my house on purpose, doing a nosedive, but he misses, and then encoded, there's more information that I found encoded about what they're plotting for and how they're planning the demise of Michael Jordan. Just follow me with this, okay? So that is what I found in this dream that I had 3 days after my daughter's dream about Mike Pence. I have a dream. And in this dream is information, encoded information about what they're planning for the demise of Michael Jordan. So that's two Mikes. That's Mike Pence and that's Michael Jordan. That's two Mikes. I've talked about this before. That's called a double. That's called double trouble. And that's also called a match. I have given y'all revelation about these things in previous videos that the Lord gave me in previous messages. So that's called a match. We got two Mikes. And as I've said before, the enemy always tries to find a match so he can start a fire, so he can start a war. This is a part of the enemy's sick game of matches. Okay, so also in the message that I did, Moonlight Sonata, like I said, it's all in this message. How God showed me Trump, politics, and there was a connection between what they were using Trump for and what they were planning on doing concerning Trump. There was a connection between that and Moonlight Sonata and Michael Jordan. So you have to go and check out that message if you have not already seen it. Okay? All right. So, the wickedness in high places. Let me find a picture of Jordan. The wickedness in high places wants Michael Jordan out of here before the release of a certain project. Do y'all know what that project is? Space Jam 2. They want, I've told y'all before, these people want Michael Jordan off the planet. I believe that they may have already postponed the release or the making of Space Jam already. I think someone told me that. Okay, that's the first thing that they're planning. The people, the wickedness in high places, they want Michael Jordan out of here before the release of Space Jam 2. All right. Number 2, Nike sneaker sales are going to skyrocket. Number 3, this will make someone a lot of money. Number 4, this will create and produce the crowds that I keep trying to warn people about in previous messages. All right. The crowds that I keep trying to warn y'all about. Okay, number 5, the crowds will bring with them chaos and hysteria and the breaking of COVID-19 social media distancing rules, which in many instances, these rules are already not being adhered to anyway. Okay, but if crowds show out and show up the way they want them to, the way they're expecting them to, for the sales of Nike sneakers, they're going to make a huge deal out of social distancing rules being broken. Number 6, there will be no crowd control. The crowds will be out of control, which is exactly what the enemy wants. This group of people who will be in a frenzy to get their hands on the latest Michael Jordan sneakers and paraphernalia, this group is a target group. This is a snare and a trap that will be set by the enemy. Warning. This is a warning. Don't walk in it. Don't walk in the traps. Stay out of the crowds. The enemy is out for blood. He wants to slaughter God's people. This is a warning. It's a trap. I've warned about this in previous videos. Take heed. Take heed. Stay out of the crowds. Okay? Stay out of the crowds. Again, the devil is standing by the banks of Jordan. As I told y'all before, the Lord said, cry for Michael.